The coffin was already sealed when the police dog began to bark, a deep, relentless sound that cut through the quiet chapel like a warning no one wanted to hear. His paws scraped the polished floor as he lunged toward the dark wood, nose pressed hard against it, barking louder with every breath. Officers tried to pull him back, mourners froze, and somewhere in the back of the room, a strange fear settled in, because this was not a bark of confusion or fear. It was a bark of certainty. And whatever the dog had discovered inside that coffin was something no one had ever heard before. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet miracles that still happen in this world, please take a moment to like this video, comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel, Kind Vibes. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them most. The dog's name was Cairo, a seasoned police canine with years of service etched into his calm discipline. He had worked disasters, missing persons cases, and scenes where even the toughest officers struggled to stand steady. Cairo was known for his restraint, for the way he obeyed commands without hesitation. That was why his behavior that day unsettled everyone. The funeral was for Officer Elias Moreno, a man remembered as steady, quiet, and brave, lost in what had been reported as a tragic accident during a late-night response call. The chapel smelled of flowers and old wood, the air heavy with grief and respect. Cairo had been brought in for ceremonial reasons, to honor a fallen handler from another unit. No one expected him to react at all. As the barking continued, Officer Mateo Ruiz, Cairo's handler, felt a tightening in his chest that had nothing to do with protocol. Mateo had trusted this dog with his life more times than he could count. Cairo did not bark like this unless something was terribly wrong. The officers tried to restore order, murmuring reassurances to the family, but Cairo pulled harder, his body rigid, eyes locked on the coffin as if the world had narrowed to that single object. The barking echoed against the walls, each sound sharpening the tension until grief turned into something else entirely. Mateo's mind raced through possibilities he didn't want to consider. The reports said Officer Moreno had been found alone, no signs of struggle, the case closed quickly in the blur of paperwork and exhaustion. But Cairo's nose was trained to detect truths hidden beneath layers of assumption. When the dog began pawing at the base of the coffin, whimpering between barks, a hush fell over the room so complete it felt unreal. Even the air seemed to pause, waiting. Against his own uncertainty and the weight of the moment, Mateo stepped forward. He knew what this could mean, how disruptive it would be, how painful. But he also knew ignoring Cairo would haunt him forever. With careful urgency, officials were alerted, and the ceremony was halted. The family watched in stunned silence as procedures shifted, confusion mixing with fragile hope and deepening fear. No one said it aloud, but everyone felt it. What if the story they had accepted was not the truth? Hours later, under sterile lights far from the chapel's soft shadows, the truth began to surface. Cairo's instincts had been right. The examination revealed signs that had been overlooked, subtle indicators that Officer Moreno had not died as reported. There were traces that suggested interference, evidence that pointed to something deliberate, something buried beneath haste and assumption. What had been labeled an accident now whispered the possibility of betrayal, of a truth pushed aside because it was inconvenient or uncomfortable. As investigators reopened the case, memories resurfaced about Officer Moreno that suddenly mattered in new ways. He had been close to uncovering misconduct within a quiet corner of the department, small inconsistencies he had noted but never spoken loudly about. He was careful, patient, and believed in doing things the right way, even when it made life harder. Those who knew him remembered the tired determination in his eyes during his last weeks, the way he stayed late, reviewing files no one else wanted to touch. Cairo remained by Mateo's side through it all, calm once more, as if his job was done. The dog had spoken in the only language he knew, refusing to let the truth be buried with a man who deserved better. The investigation that followed was painful and slow, unraveling a chain of decisions that led back to fear and silence. Accountability came, not quickly, but firmly, as light reached places long kept dark. Officer Moreno's name was cleared, his story corrected, and his family given something they had been denied before, the truth. For Mateo, the experience changed him in ways he never expected. He had always trusted Cairo, but now he understood the depth of that bond. It wasn't just training or obedience, it was loyalty rooted in something purer than rules. Cairo had reminded everyone present that day that truth does not always arrive quietly, and that sometimes it takes courage to listen when it does not fit the script. The chapel was reopened weeks later for a second memorial, one marked not by confusion but by clarity. The grief was still there, but it had shifted, tempered by respect and a sense of justice restored. Cairo sat beside the flag-draped display, still and dignified, his presence a silent reminder that even when humans falter, compassion and instinct can guide the way back. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that kindness and courage can come from unexpected places, please take a moment now to like and share this video. Stories like this matter because they remind us that second chances are sometimes earned through vigilance and love. And before the video ends, tell us in the comments what this story made you feel, because your words might be exactly what someone else needs to read today.